Hi guys, my name is Julia and I'm one of your teen services librarians over at the main library on Goodwood. Today we're getting artsy with our math and making origami magic rings. Supplies that accompany this video are available at the main library in a limited capacity. Before we get started though, let's give credit where it's due. This origami project was originally created by Thoki Yenn. Alright, in your kit you're going to have 3 colors of paper with 2 sheets apiece, and you're going to have some double-sided tape wrapped in wax paper. To make your magic rings, you're going to need 6 rectangles of paper, and each piece of paper in the kit is going to have 4 rectangles marked out on it. The X's are the ones you don't want. So to get started, you're going to go ahead and cut out 2 rectangles from each color. All right, once you've got your 6 rectangles, you want to go ahead and set 5 of them aside. You're going to worry about those later. Okay, so once you've got your one paper you're going to start working with, the first thing you want to do is take it and fold it in half. You want to make sure everything's even on it. And you want to give it a really good crease down the middle. Anytime there's a crease in here, you want to make sure it's super tight, super crisp, because that will affect you later. Open it back up. What you want to do next is don't start creasing yet. You want to fold it up so it looks like this. And then you just run your hand, run your finger across, and pinch it right there at the corner. Okay. And then you want to do the same thing on the other side. So on this first side here, what you want to do is you want to bend it down and over so it meets this corner is going to touch this pinch mark you made over here. And you want to make sure that this is very even and straight going down. And on this side, you want to fold it so the fold is on this pinch mark. Okay, so you should have a fat flap and a skinny flap. You want to open it back up, and on the skinny flap you want to fold a right triangle down so it runs parallel to that crease you just made. And make sure you have a good crease right down that corner. You want to open it up, and then you want to go ahead and fold a line that's going to go straight across your rectangle, starting down at the bottom of that triangle crease you just made. It's very important this part is straight. This is one of the more frustrating ones to do because you don't have any guidelines yet. Go ahead and open it up. Okay, open it up, and then you want to take the bottom of the rectangle, fold it up to the crease line you just made. Get a good tight crease on this one. You're going to open it up, and then you want to fold the bottom again to the new crease mark you just made. And open it up. And the first side where you had folded that triangle, you want to take that side and fold it to the newest crease mark. You want to go through and check and make sure all of your crease marks are very tight here. This will affect the whole rest of your design. All right, so when you open it up, you should have these 5 little sections. And what you want to do next is you don't want to crease yet. You want to fold up like you did to originally make the pinch mark. Now see how you've got these lines on it. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go over to the 3rd line. Make sure this is all quite even, and then just run your finger down the 3rd line and make a little pinch mark there. So when you open it up, you can see that guy. So you're gonna fold it over on that pinch mark like this next. And you want to get a very good crease there. I'm gonna open it up next. And again, don't start creasing. You want to bend it over so that this center crease line lines up with this bottom crease line. then once you're there, you want to go ahead, see this first section between the lines, skip it, go to the next one, and crease it down. Skip this third section, go to the fourth section, and make sure it's well creased there. Okay, open it up, and then you want to do the same thing just on the other side. Then you're going to open it up again, and you want to fold both of your flaps down. Then you want to take this first line, fold it down, this bottom line, and fold it down. And then go ahead and fold that box back and this box back. And this next part is the most frustrating part of this. If you're not an origami folding expert, like I am also not, you will probably mess this up the first couple times, and that's okay. You want to push in those sides while simultaneously pushing the top and bottom together. And you kind of have to play around with it a little bit. Sometimes it goes easier than others. But once you kind of have it coming together, you can see that it's going to make this J shape. You want to get one side that's going to go under the other, and you want to tuck it into the pockets that our little flaps made. Okay, so when you're all done, you should have something that looks like a J. And if this is popping apart, you can't keep it together, feel free to use some of the double-sided tape to keep it together. We're not origami purists. Next, you want to go ahead and do this with all the other rectangles you cut out. Okay, when you have all your pieces together, now comes the fun part. You want to go ahead and take two of the little J's from one color, and you're going to join them. So I'm just going to pick the yellow first. And you can do this really any way you want. The way I found that was easiest was to insert the small side of one of them into the big side of the other, and then the small of the other side into it. So it's kind of double linked together. Okay, so you should have a ring when you're done. And you want to go ahead and do that with another set of colors. And for right now, leave that third set of colors alone. So you should have two rings, and you just want to go ahead and insert one ring into the other ring. And sometimes they may pop apart like that. It's kind of frustrating, but just put it back together and keep going. Seems like a prime tape candidate here. Okay. So once you have your two rings together, you can go ahead and see that there is a gap in between them. And you want to go ahead and build the last ring through that gap. So when you're assembling the last ring, you want to have the long end inserted into one of those gaps, one side and the other. And you're going to go ahead and do your best to join them together. So when you're done, you should have one impossible ring. Okay, so now it's time for the math. I will be honest with you. I picked this because I thought it looked cool. I was like, oh yeah, I'll learn the math as I go along. It went some places. Okay, so mathematics is divided into two fields, pure math and applied math. Applied math is math for the real world. Pure math is, for lack of a better term, theoretical. It's important to note that what is theoretical now might be applied later. So within pure math, there's a subfield called topology, and that's the study of geometric shapes that are permanently deformed by crumpling, twisting, bending, or stretching. If there's any tearing or gluing involved, they do not count as a part of topology. But within topology, there's another subfield called knot theory, and that's where mathematicians study how knots are mathematically formed and how they work. This may sound fantastically useless, but it's actually becoming pretty useful for understanding how things like DNA get all knotted up inside of us. So if this is something you find interesting, I've attached a couple of links in the video description to more in-depth explanations of knot theory. They're pretty quick, and I highly recommend them. Anyways, our magic rings are a geometric representation of Borromean rings, which are one of the most popular types of knots in knot theory. If you have any questions or comments about today's video, holler at us. Our phone number is 231-3770, or you can leave a comment on this video. Better yet, tag us on Instagram and show us what you made. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to see you next time.